Welcome to the tutorial on how to flash your audio board. Before we begin, make sure to have downloaded all of the files you'll need to flash the board. Our files are in FlashMe. Also, when you extract these files, make sure to keep track of the directory that you extract them to. You will need this directory later for the tutorial. Also at this point, we have assumed that you have already built your boot.out and your McCasp playback.out files. If you have not built those yet, we have a separate tutorial on how to make those files. So at this point though, take those two files, boot.out and McCasp playback.out, and copy them into your directory. Okay, at this point you can now open up the flashme.bat file, and at this point it will just have a reminder telling you to make sure that those files are copied in. And once they are in, you can then press any key to continue. Okay, so at this point, make sure to enter in the name McCasp Playback, and do not include the file extension, just the name of the file. Okay, you should see a message that says this. At this point, you will now need to turn to the board and flip the dip switches that are on the board to 0101 0000. And at this point, the board should not be plugged into power. So once you have done that, you can press any key to continue. And now at this point, you'll need to find the COM port that your board is plugged into in the computer. So in this case, Device Manager will open up. In our computer, it is on COM 5. So now we are just going to enter in the number 5. And now we plug power into the board. Now we press any key to continue. At this point, we are now ready to flash the board. Just as we're going through, once it begins flashing, we'll see a lot of messages come up from the board itself. But one of the things that we need to look out for is the message waiting for boot me. When we see this message, we will press the reset button on the board, and then it will continue flashing. So now we're ready to begin. So there's waiting for boot me, and now we hit the reset button on the board, and it will continue to flash. At this point, it may take some time before the board completely flashes, so just be patient as it gets the program on the board. Okay. At this point, you should see these bars going through, which indicates that it's completed flashing. Okay, now at this point, you should see this message that says operation completed successfully, and your program should be flashed to the board. The next thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to disconnect power from the board, and you'll need to switch the boot switches to 0111 0000. Okay, and then at this point you can plug your board back in, and it should be ready to go.